This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.
This podcast is brought to you by Coral, and they're here for the fans. At the Fan Network, we have a mission to shake up the game we all love, and that's why we partnered with Coral, who've been shaking things up too. With their free-to-play reward shaker, there are guaranteed rewards and exclusive offers to be won every single day. Whether you're a part of the Badging Brigade, the Away Dayers, or the Football Fashionistas, Coral's here for the fans. Play Coral's reward shaker and win bigger guaranteed daily rewards and offers this season. For over 18s only, maximum one reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions and requirements and other T's and C's apply. Visit gambleaware.org for more details.
This episode of the 1911 podcast is brought to you by Coral, the proud sponsor of the TalkSport Fan Network, here for all kinds of fans. For the armchair experts who didn't have enough city points to make that away game. For the football fashionistas that wear claret and amber with pride. And for the nostalgia merchants, because nothing beats the history makers. Whatever kind of fan you are, with Coral's free-to-play reward shaker, win a guaranteed daily reward or offer throughout the season. Simply shake your phone to win. Over 18s only, maximum one reward or offer per player per day, 8am to 8pm. Reward restrictions and requirements and other T's and C's apply. For more information on safer gambling, visit gambleaware.org. The Bantams top the League 2 table for the first time this season and for the first time since, well, I'll let Andy tell you that stat. Join him, myself and Chris as we review Bradford's win against Crewe and look ahead to the next game away at Swindon. It's the 1911 podcast.
17 years I've been waiting to say this. 17 whole years, but we are top of the league. Get in there, son. Blessing or a burden, gents.
I think, we might have timed it quite well. I know, obviously, that's a ridiculous thing to say because we've bottled every chance we've had over the last, 3 weeks to go top of the league, which is really frustrating to watch because it looked like we haven't wanted it. We've fallen into the category of everyone else in the league who just didn't want to get promoted. So, yeah, frustrating, but we might have timed it quite well, I think, to take the top spot with only 5 games left. Just takes that little bit of pressure off.
Can I just say, I'm feeling a bit bittersweet about it all. And what I mean by that is we've been waiting for weeks and weeks and weeks and hoping and praying that we would end up top of the table. And now we're top of the table. However, I would say that I would take back 2 weeks ago where we were 5 points ahead of the automatic race rather than being top of the table. Am I mental for that?
No,
not at all, no.
But it goes back to what you were saying on Tuesday. Have we got the mental fortitude in this squad to be able to deal with this pressure now? Because we are the hunted all of a sudden. That's what worries me. I think obviously we're going to go into Crewe and everything like that, yesterday's game. But I think Swindon next week is going to be a massive... It's an even bigger game, in my opinion, because we need to make sure that we're getting that away form to where its home form is.
Yeah, I think it's obviously it's a place where we don't do very well. So 2021 was the last time we won there. We don't necessarily do very well against Swindon. I apologise for sounding really negative at the beginning of this podcast, especially when we're top of the table. But we've also got to be realistic, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I sort of pointed out, we've waited a long time to sort of make it official, so to speak. And in that time, we've had all the pack behind us gain a lot of ground on us. So, if we'd have been top of the table, 4 weeks ago, we could, like you say, we could have been looking at a bit of a gap to whoever was behind us. Whereas now it's neck and neck, which isn't a bad thing at all. I think it being tense and nervy for each team is going to be fine. I don't think every team is going to suffer from it, so to speak.
Let's not get bogged down in any.
Yeah, let's talk about the Crewe game first because we won on Saturday. Let's be positive.
Let's tear that game apart because I thought we played quite well. I mean, getting the fastest goal in City history,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
is incredible.
So I'll list off some stats about that. So fastest goal I think in EFL League 2 that I could find was 53 seconds for Colchester against Wimbledon, and that was a couple of years ago. The EFL official sort of social media have said that it's the fastest goal in the league, the three leagues, Championship down to League 2 for 4 years, I think, since Paul Mullin. Since Paul Mullin scored a goal for Wrexham about 4 years ago. So it is a ridiculous stat, and like I say, I think it's the fastest goal definitely for City that they've ever scored. The club made that official, but I think it's the fastest goal in League 2 ever.
I didn't expect it. I mean, what I mean by that is I didn't expect that to be the case. And the crazy thing to think about is if Kavanagh hadn't hit the post, 9 seconds.
Yeah, it would have been even faster, because you got to remember it wasn't just like it hit the post and then Bobby tapped it in. It was a ricochet into him, so that's another, like you say, probably 2 seconds. And that 9 seconds would have then been in hand for a modern English record, because I think the famous Shane Long one is that 9 seconds or is that 7 seconds?
Yeah,
the Southampton one against Watford.
Yeah, I seem to remember Spurs scoring against Bradford.
Leslie King was that.
Ledley
was it? Sorry. Cut that.
I want to say that was 7 seconds, but I could be wrong.
I think it was 10. I'm going to quickly look that up.
Do you know what? I mean, the only other really quick goal that I can remember in my lifetime, I doubt either of you boys will know this, was England versus San Marino, when San Marino scored literally after 8 seconds, where England had to win by, I think it was 9 to go into the World Cup 1994. That shows you how old I am, chaps. But they scored after, I think, was 7 seconds. I'm surprised that it's as low as that. I thought it'd be a bit quicker than that.
So the Ledley King goal was timed at 9.82 seconds, and the English record, for the Premier League, is 7.69 by Shane Long against Southampton. Sorry, for Southampton against Watford. Yeah, so it's a quick goal, very quick. And we talked in the last episode when Tom was on about how Crewe could get under the fans' skin by hanging in there for as long as possible. And of course, it's a trademark of the industry. Whatever you say, the opposite always happens, and that exactly happened.
100% is incredible. Like I wouldn't even really set. I don't think anybody was. I don't think anyone knew what were going on. To be fair, it was that quick. But it settled. Like, imagine being a player coming out in front of 22,000, you've got a massive tifo, flags are waving. It's every player's dream, but at the same time, you're going to be walking out thinking, if we don't do the business, we're in trouble here. Like, these are going to get on his backs. So it must have taken such a weight off of all the players' backs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, Alexander came out in the post-match, and he said it a few times, but he really sort of hammered it home in the post-match interview against Crewe, saying that these players don't fear playing in front of these crowds. They don't fear playing at Valley Parade. And we've touched on this before in the podcast, but that's the first group of players we've had in a long time that don't fear these large crowds at Valley Parade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally agree. I thought the one player that did kind of buckle for me was Lapsley. He looked lost yesterday. He didn't look like he knew what he was doing. His control of the ball, it just wasn't his usual self. And we hadn't had that much time to see what he can do on a consistent basis. But from what we have seen, I expect much more from him. And I just don't think he was at the races yesterday. And I think maybe he loses his spot now for Swindon.
Yeah, I agree. I even tweeted out that I would quite like to see Lapsley come off at half-time, which I felt was verified. I just felt that he couldn't quite get into the game. Every ball that he seemed to get, we were losing the ball. He just looked like, and this is really harsh, but I'm going to say it, he looked like that little kid in the schoolyard who has got so much determination, runs around, but has no ability.
I'm talking from past experience here there.
Oh, yeah. We absolutely am. I mean, this is probably why I wanted him off the pitch, if I'm honest. I just felt that nothing went right for him yesterday. And this is the problem a little bit with Lapsley is we're either seeing an absolutely phenomenal performance from him or we're just seeing something that just is incredibly average or below that.
From the Cheltenham game, I think he thrives on calm rather than some of the strikers that thrive on chaos. But I'd like to remind, we did win yesterday, and there were a lot of positive performances out there.
It sounds like we've been really negative.
It sounds like you're being quite negative, to be honest.
A massive win for me with Teo. Teo, he came back out and he's dusted himself off, and we saw glimpses again of what it's about. And I thought he had a really strong game. And defensively as well. His defensive work rate yesterday were next to none, to be fair. He wasn't scared of making a 30-yard dash back to get in front of that striker and get in front of that ball. So for me, positives to keep Ewan happy.
Well, we talked about it in the last episode, that his battle with, was it Cooney, was going to be really crucial. And Tom, the Crewe fan, highlighted how if Cooney got booked, he was going to be walking a tightrope. And against Teo, that was definitely the case because he was up and down that flank every minute of the game.
100%.
Yeah, he was, and he was so fast, wasn't he? I felt like he was faster than usual, Teo. There was balls that he definitely should not been winning. There was too far ahead of him, and he was getting to the ball. Teo, absolutely. I don't even want to say the word redeemed himself because he doesn't need to redeem himself. Had a really positive performance yesterday. A lot of that work, whenever it went down that side, he was always on it. He was always creating chances. I love the man. I do. I'm still going to say Shepherd is the player that I would sign. However, Teo it's those famous words again, boys. And you know what I'm going to say. Don't fall in love with a lone player.
Well, I think it felt like every player rose to the occasion yesterday, pretty much. Well, maybe barring Lapsley, but it shows what a fantastic job the fan groups and the club did to make this a special occasion and really lay down a marker almost that this is something special. We need to do it now. We need everyone behind us, and long may that continue.
Yeah, and I think special praise to, for instance, maybe like the City event for really trying to get fan interaction with the flags, getting the club on board with the TIFO idea, which the club have gone forwards with and, have paid for. And that's exactly what we need right now to kind of help us and hopefully push us over that final line. And it's great to see. And, this is one thing I love about Bradford City. I really do, is that people really can get behind this club. The last two home games, the atmosphere has been absolutely spectacular, and it's been such a delight to see. Yesterday, I loved seeing, the TIFO, seeing this club and going, how the hell, again, are we in League Two? But this is the thing about Bradford. We really will support this club no matter what. Even though we do whinge and we complain, we will support this club. And we always have done. We have always been fans that have looked after this club as much as we can. Really important that I say that.
I think that comes from the side of things of, I think you find it with a lot of clubs that are kind of like glued together by disaster, making it a bit of a somber feel a little bit here, I know. But if you look at clubs that have had disasters, their fan bases seem to be that little bit more passionate, a little bit more involved in the intricacies of the club. You get that at Liverpool. It's a big part of so many people's lives. There's so many people in the city that have been affected by anything to do with Bradford City. So we're all knitted into one. And I think that's huge. And as well, while I'm on the subject of disasters, the firemen coming walking from Lincoln yesterday, hats off to them. That's a hell of a trek. They did so well to be able to do that and raising the 56 grand for the 56. I think it's an amazing cause to go to the Burns unit. So a little plug for them. If you've got a spare couple of quid, chuck it on over to them, sponsor them, because what they did was monumental, and I think they got the welcome at Valley Parade yesterday that they deserve for it as well.
Absolutely, and I'll make sure that is a pinned tweet as well. So if anybody's listening to this, have a look on our Twitter page, and I'll make sure that you can do that if you want to donate to that amazing cause.
So, a couple of decisions to talk about from yesterday. We're going to start with the potential red card, the challenge by Conway on... It's high, but for me, it doesn't actually make contact. I want to know what you guys think as well.
It were red all day long, mate.
He's
two-footed and off the ground. Yeah, he's two-footed and off the ground, but if you watch it back, he doesn't make contact with the knee.
No, it might not make contact with the knee, but if you look at it, if you look at the way the rules are, if you are going in and you are out of control and off the ground, then that's classed as a dangerous challenge. A dangerous challenge, potential leg breaker in this case, is deemable by a red card, so he should be gone.
I absolutely agree, by the way,
No
because when you watch it back as a first time, the reaction is absolute. It's so high, he's miles off the ground. It should be a red card, I think, in the moment. But the players being challenged has got quite lucky, and I think himself, Conway's got quite lucky as well with the fact that he hasn't connected, because if he has, it's definitely a red card and there is no room for legal.
I don't think it would have been any different. I don't think this referee, who I didn't actually think had a terrible game, if I'm honest, but I don't think he was going to give it anyway. I think even if he'd have touched him, I don't think he would have given a red card. I just felt that he was going to bottle that. But I'm sorry,
I'm in agreement with you. It's not. I'm not throwing out a horrific take here. I'm just saying that I don't think he makes massive contact, which might have saved him from it being a red card. I think it was a red card, and I've seen multiple Crewe fans come on and say that it was a red card, and they got quite lucky. It's one of them. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely the intent. Yeah.
The thing is, that referee should and probably will get pulled up. The referee assessors were in there yesterday as well. They were at Valley Parade assessing all the officials. The laws of the game state if it's dangerous foul play, then it's got to be deemed red card. He was not in control of his body motion. He might not have made full contact, which is fair enough, but the intent and he wasn't in control. That means he's got one place to go, and that's for an early shower. Simple as.
Andy, do you think that he bottled the decision?
Yeah, 100%. Of course he did. And what he didn't want to do was pander. It's a double-edged sword for a ref, isn't it? When you think about it, there's 22,000 people in Valley Parade all cheering for Bradford City. If he gives that, ref will biased, he won over by a crowd. So a ref is going to be like, no, I'm not good. I want to make it look like the crowd's not affecting me, which is total bollocks on this occasion. The ref should be taking any crowd out of the situation. I'd love for him to come out and explain the rationale behind his decision, because he had no right in just branching a yellow. I'm sorry.
He made the decision really quickly as well, if I remember rightly as well.
He
didn't really think about it as long as maybe he should have. But we digress. And the penalty as well. How do we feel about that one?
I think it was a penalty.
It were handball. It came up at Baldwin quick.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because it's the way it's come in from the cross, and Smallwood I think misses it, and it's just he can't move his arm out of the way in time. But it's the way we talk about this unnatural position nowadays, don't we? But I think it's one of those where, like we've said, we can probably hold our hand up and say, well, it was, but
yeah, it definitely was, and the way you can kind of gauge whether it should have been or shouldn't have been is, if that were the other way around, would we be screaming to high heaven for a pen?
Yeah, exactly, and it's exactly the same for the red card. It's the other way around.
On that penalty, goalkeepers union, Sam Walker. What a man.
Alexander made a point of mentioning it in the interview, saying that he didn't realise on watchback, the same as me actually, I made this comment as well, saying that he didn't realise how far it is in the corner. It's a brilliant save. Brilliant save.
Yeah.
If Sam Walker's not 6'7", he's not getting to that. Pure and simple. But the fact that he manages, and the ball's actually behind him, so he's having to
he's
like
clawed
turn
it
his
properly,
arm back and to get outstanding goalkeeping. And just to think, when he came in for Harry Lewis, we were all a bit like, who's this guy? We want Lewis back in. And now what's happening with Harry Lewis? Like, you know what I mean?
But that's because we didn't really know who he was, isn't it? You know, there was talk, for instance, it was Colin Doyle's mate. And everyone was saying, "Oh, well, who's he brought? Oh, he's brought him in from Charlton, but he hasn't played for Charlton for a year, 2 years." Listen, and when I'm mimicking like this, I'm not just talking about any Bradford fan. This is exactly what I did as well. You know, we talked about that, and but he's not played for Charlton, blah blah. What a signing he's become. I loved Harry Lewis, lovely guy, good goalkeeper. Struggled last season at the beginning of the season, definitely struggled at the end of the season against Carlisle. I do love Sam. He's made a couple of mistakes, and I think that's really unfair that I'm bringing that up because I'm saying he made a couple of mistakes. Every goalkeeper makes mistakes. But is he not Mr. Reliable? Oh, my God, he's fantastic. And that save, like you said, chaps, right in the corner, I felt that he was going to save it. I don't know what it was about yesterday, but I thought, we're saving this. He's going to save this. And
it did feel like everything sort of went our way, particularly as well with Omar Bogle's offside goal, which he stole from. I can't remember who he stole it from, but it's sort of poked across the goal and he's tapped it in himself and in an offside position. What a calamitous mistake that is.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the TL Dallas again. I love it for big atmospheres. I'm not going to lie. I would even get a season ticket there. And all I did was I looked straight at the linesman on that side when that went in because I was like, I'm not sure I think this is offside. And the linesman took an age to line it. So it literally gone in. I would say it's probably 3 or 4 seconds, which again at the time feels like an eternity. He then puts up the flag and you're like, oh, thank God. But I didn't feel that it was a goal. I'll be honest with you though, chaps. I've not seen the replay back. Is it a goal or is it not a goal?
I think if Bogle had left it, it might have trickled across into the other far corner, possibly. I don't think necessarily it was like it wasn't going in at the near post where he was, if you know what I mean, and he's stolen it for no reason. There was the reason for him to tap it in. It's just unfortunate that he was in an offside position. With that, do you think City got slightly lucky?
We got a bit sloppy. It was sloppy defending to begin with, and I think if the lino didn't flag, it could have been a different afternoon completely. But on the whole, I thought we defended really well. I'm still not sure why Rom's got taken off because I thought he played all right.
I thought he was very good, if I'm honest with you, Andy. I think the absolute opposite. I'm quite.
What did he do wrong? What did he do wrong?
There was a few times in that first half where he gave the ball away and his passes weren't great. I was not surprised to see him pulled off at half time. In fact, I saw Shepherd was warming up. He was training at half time. And I saw one of the officials, city officials, grab hold of Shepherd, and obviously he rushed down with about, I think, probably 5 minutes before the second half came. It didn't surprise me. I just didn't think that it was Critch's kind of game. I know that we've been kind of banging on, or certainly I have been banging on about how we need to have Critch low in the team. I think it was fair enough, to be honest with you. And again, I
don't think he did that much wrong, to be honest. I thought he dealt with everything. He linked up well with Teo. Honestly, I'm baffled as to why he got brought off straight away.
I thought, like I say, I think that the problem was that he did just look a little bit out of his depth yesterday. I think it was one of the poorest I've seen him, and I'm not surprised to see him being pulled off at half time.
Yes, I think that's pretty harsh considering, we've only conceded 6 shots in the whole game and only 2 of them on target.
I don't think it was necessarily that, Ewan. I think it was some of his play. Like I say, gave away the ball quite easily a couple of times. Passing ability wasn't great. He just looked a little bit like he just didn't look great for me yesterday.
Well,
I wasn't surprised to see him pulled off at half-time.
Well, especially when you play that wide centre-back role, the link-up play with the wing-back is so important to how we play this formation. So I can definitely see that. And another thing you wanted to speak about, Chris, was about set pieces, particularly in the Crewe game, but over the past sort of season as well.
Yeah, I feel that it's a conversation that we've had in our WhatsApp group, isn't it, chaps? Where I asked I think it was 2 weeks ago, where I said, when was the last direct free kick that we scored? I don't feel that we also ever seem to go for that. I mean, yesterday, if I remember right, we had Smallwood played it up for Baldwin, who kind of hit it on a volley.
I liked that.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that. I
Bit of-
didn't
bit
mind
of
that.
Letizia.
Different.
Yeah, I totally didn't mind that. But it also got me thinking about our set piece abilities. We aren't scoring goals from set pieces, are we, chaps?
No, not at all. I think with the size of players that we have as well, we should be making more of set piece opportunities. I think we've adjusted a little bit with our set pieces in the fact that Smallwood isn't on every single one. So we're getting a bit of variance. It seems to be a lot more stuff that we've worked on the training ground. It's starting to get added in rather than it just being hit and open to the box. So maybe it's going to take time. I don't know. But no, we haven't been good enough from set pieces for me.
I think there's a bit of magic to it, though, in the sense that sometimes just the stars align with set pieces. We nearly scored one against Colchester, I believe. Critch had one saved that could have easily gone in. I think it is just a bit of magic with that. Also worth pointing out that without Cook in the team, he is a magnet for defenders, and anywhere he goes, he's going to drag two players, which obviously frees up space for everyone else. Although usually it's Cook with three defenders trailing him, who's the one who's scoring from the corner. So that's obviously going to take a hit as well. Like you say, a bit more variance as well, maybe switching it up means that we're not sure too often when or how these corner kicks are going to come in.
I think one thing for me is that I have noticed over the last few games is that when opposition have got corners, I'm more worried than potentially, let's say, when we have got a corner. I never feel that we're going to score from a corner. I'd love to know if anybody's listening. I would love to know when the last time we scored a direct free kick.
I have done a bit of research on that.
I knew you would.
but if anyone's listening, feel free to tweet me and just prove me wrong. I think the last direct free kick City scored was Shea McCartan in 2020.
That's crazy.
And you know where that was at? Which ground? Who we were playing?
Was it York?
No, it was away at Swindon.
Yes, it was. Yes,
and it was like a 90th minute winner or equaliser or something like that. Yeah, if you can remember one more recent than that, I'd like to know about it.
There must have been. There has to have been.
I
can't believe that we have gone 5 years without scoring a direct free kick. There's no way that can be true. However, I genuinely can't think this season of when we scored a direct free kick.
I can't think of one definitely this season, but there might have been one in recent time. There's got to be one buried in the COVID years, you'd like to think, because when everything was upside down, wouldn't have taken note of it.
Before we do move on, can I just have a special mention for one more player? I was so chuffed for him to finally get a goal yesterday. Cavs.
Yes.
I have a stat. I would like to announce a stat. So, Cav now has 15 goals in all competitions this season. 15 in 30. 15 in 30. That's a goal every other game. And with the type of player he is, the type of character he is, and the way people slag him off, don't you think that's such a great return?
I'm one of those people that slag him off. I won't beat around bush. Like, the boy gives so much energy and effort into his play. He's running around like a blue-ass fly for all the game and everything. But every time he gets the ball, he just looks a little lost for me most of the time. But just seeing him, like you saw it in his celebration, didn't you? Like it meant so much to him. The thing is now, can he take that and kick on and make the same sort of impact next week? But I just wanted to point out how chuffed I was for him.
I think that's a fair point because if I remember rightly, he didn't score for something like the first 3 or 4 3 or 4 months of the season. He looked a very frustrated character.
Yeah.
And we're a funny bunch, us lot, because I don't think we respect strikers like we should do, or forwards, whatever you want to call it. I think sometimes, Cookie gets a lot of abuse. Whoever we've signed, we've given abuse to. But that's an incredible stat, that 15 and 30. And that is probably, as well, to be fair, Ewan, that's probably 15 in something like the last 20.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like you say, there was a long barren patch at the start of the season because it came obviously off the hot streak of the season before, where he was scoring, well, not for fun, but he was getting them regularly. And long may that continue. I love him. I just love him. Like you say, he's got that bulldog energy.
You're going to buy him flowers?
I'm not going to buy him flowers. No. I might have to turn up to the Fleetwood match with a flag. Or something with his face on it.
Get him a Darwin Núñez shirt.
I don't think he would appreciate that. And I don't think he would want that name to stick at all. It might ruin his career. Anyway, let's move on. We need to talk about the table because there were plenty of other results in League 2 yesterday. Most notably, 2nd versus 3rd, Port Vale, Walsall. Port Vale getting a 3-2 win. Great game, that.
Do you know what's crazy? Because I kept texting you boys, didn't I? Because I was in Bradford and I just went, oh, Walsall have scored. Oh, no, they haven't. Oh, Port Vale have scored. Oh, Walsall have scored. Walsall have scored. Port Vale scored. Port Vale. What a crazy first half. That must have been at the Bestcott.
Yeah, I slept on second half and nothing happened. It was boring. it was shocking, to be honest. No, Port Vale, I'll hold my hands up. Like they've hit form at the right time, haven't they? They are going to take it to wire. Hopefully, this is their little run of happiness over and done with. I'm worrying for Walsall. What's that now? No wins in 5 or 6.
I think it's 7 or 8 now.
I think it might be 9.
Like, that's mental when you think about where we were Christmas Day. We were sat on 12. We were sat in 12th. They were first, running away. They'd won the league. They'd booked the bus, and they were having a party already. They're in trouble. Would you not agree?
Trouble. Yeah, they're in big trouble, and I think that when you've got the likes of Donny, who won 2-0 yesterday, 2 very last-minute goals, unfortunately. Port Vale, obviously. Wimbledon won again as well yesterday. Yeah, I think they're in big trouble. But let's face it, we have been saying this for a little while that in fact, to be fair, it's not just us. It's other podcasts that I listen to all mention. In fact, nobody ever says, oh, well, I think Walsall will finish in the top 3. I think they're going to go into the playoffs. I think they're going to fall away.
Yeah, well, I mean, all 3 of us are saying that. It's no wins in 9, by the way, for them. It was. So the danger for them is very real now because Doncaster, after that late winner against Cheltenham, sit only 2 points behind them with that game in hand, which is against Salford, thank you for reminding me. And then just behind them, Wimbledon, who also got a win yesterday. They're keeping in touch just fine. They beat Harrogate by 1-0. Notts County, though, seemingly to slip away again. They're looking like they could fall out along with Grimsby, possibly, although there is quite a big gap, 6 points to them dropping out. But Colchester are the team they lost against, so that's ground lost and ground gained in the same game.
Yeah, Notts County are just one of those teams where they look like finally they're getting it together. They'd not lost in 3 before that, which I know sounds stupid, but this league has been that crazy anyway that not losing in 3 is quite good. But obviously to lose to Colchester finally are getting their form back after a poor few games. That is a big result. That's a massive result, and it's one that makes me quite happy. So that's something to look at. Obviously, we've got Notts County coming up very shortly. Easter Friday.
The game's been moved to a Thursday now, hasn't it?
Thursday,
yes. 8 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, of course. Thanks. So, yeah, I think that's going to be one to think about.
I think game of the week for next week to be looking at, Donny Wimbledon. That's going to be a tasty affair, that is.
Yeah, Wimbledon also have Port Vale to play on the second to last game of the season, 26th of April. So they've got quite a run-in that can affect what's going on in playoffs and autos.
It's going to be interesting. nothing is decided. We've got five games left the season. Nothing is decided, even if we are top of the table.
So I have just looked at it. So Wimbledon's next game away at Doncaster. Then they've got Chesterfield at home, Gillingham away, and then Port Vale at home, and then Grimsby away. What a run-in that is. That's really tough.
That's horrible. That's a nasty bit of work, is that, to be fair for them. But if you look at Donny with their game in hand, they've got Wimbledon next weekend. They're going to have to put out a strong side. They can't afford to take that easy. Salford might do them, in that game now. They might miss out on that game.
As we've already touched on, anyone could do anyone in this league. It is really a free-for-all, and I don't think that's something that's exclusive to this year. It's always been like this. It's the beauty of lower league football, I think, that a side can turn up and play long ball and hit a team that like to pass it on the floor where it hurts.
Yeah, the other thing about Donny as well is that they have the next three games in 6 days, I believe, when I was looking earlier on. So do you really want to be playing 3 games in 6 days? That's going to be really difficult for them.
Right, well, the team we do need to move on, City's next game, Swindon away. We need to talk about Ian Holloway's transformation of this side, don't we?
Yeah.
He's working wonders, isn't he? It's come out. They're coming out of nowhere. It's a shame for Swindon that they're playing so well, and it's this late on into the season.
They probably have left it slightly too late.
I don't think there's enough. I mean, how many points is there left to play for? 15,
and they are 11 points off.
Yeah, and that's if nobody picks up any points.
That's
highly unlikely.
Highly
It's
unlikely.
not likely possible. But I think if this were a bit earlier on in the season, there'd be a bit of a worry to look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me and Andy are on our way to Swindon next week, aren't we, mate?
We are indeed, sir. We are indeed. Went there last season. It didn't end well.
It never does.
Last time I went there was the opening day of the 2014-15 season or 15-16 season, and we were 1-0 up at half time after a Josh Morris wonder goal from the edge of the box right in the top corner. And I thought, we're playing quite well here. This could be a good season. We lost 4-1. So never get your hopes up for anything. But Holloway's transformation is something quite serious. From the allegations that the training ground was haunted to the argument with the fans at Bradford Stadium.
Stop, right. No. Rewind.
Have I skipped over that too fast?
Haunted training.
Yeah, so he claimed that the training ground was haunted and that was why they weren't winning many games. I don't know too much about this. It does seem like bollocks, true. Doesn't it?
It's completely true. I saw the same thing. Yeah.
What, as in you believe in ghosts?
Wasn't it his wife that said that was the case? I think it was because I'm sure his wife is like, I could be completely wrong here, but I've got a feeling like his wife is, I'm sure his wife is like a spiritualist or something like that, or a medium. I might be wrong when I say that, but yeah, he absolutely did say that.
Could you imagine that though? You're walking into your job at work. Sorry, boss, I didn't finish any work today because my computer's haunted. Shut up. Get a grip.
It's very bizarre, but I touched on it as well. About a month after he joined the club, there was this mass argument with the fans that happened after they'd lost at Valley Parade, and that seemed to be quite a turning point actually, because they started to pick up form after that.
They were absolutely dreadful that day. I think that they were the worst team that's come to Valley Parade this season.
I think Cheltenham would be a close to that.
I thought Swindon were worse. I thought Swindon were absolutely dreadful. However, as you say, he's done a really good job. Also, the fact that they beat Fleetwood 4-0 away from home yesterday, which everyone might go, and Fleetwood have been on ridiculous form at the moment.
Yeah, so that result has really gone under the radar. Fleetwood have been on a really good run of form, but that result should put an end to their very late playoff charge, I think. But yeah, that result really went under the radar. Both teams in really good form. It's going to be a real game. It's no pushover for City.
Never is though at Swindon. And luckily, we haven't got the Magic Roundabout to worry about. If you guys have ever heard about the Magic Roundabout.
I have indeed.
If you've never seen it, have a look up the Magic Roundabout. It is the craziest roundabout I have ever heard about, ever.
It's ridiculous. It's like 6 roundabouts surrounding one big roundabout. It's like, what bloody lane do you go in? Where are you actually trying to get to? You're on it for hours because you don't have a clue where you go. You just go around in circles.
Well, let's hope City's players don't get lost on that match day.
Or the coach.
Or the coach. Yeah, don't want the coach lost either, yeah. So, for Swindon, who are we looking at as their danger men? For me, it's got to be off the left, Shamanga, who has been in good form, very good form for them. Yeah, picked up a penalty goal against Fleetwood. He's quick. We know he's quick.
Yeah, he's always been one of these nearly players, hasn't he, Shamanga? Obviously came from, I want to say it was Boreham Wood, where he scored a ridiculous amount of goals. Got his move eventually to Chesterfield when he was in the conference. Did okay. Eventually got his move to Peterborough. But he's just been one of these players that you always think he's going to be magnificent, but has never really done anything until this season. Certainly in the league, anyway. And I'm glad for him as well because up until this season, he's not really shown anything, has he?
No. Well, not in like you say, he has been a nearly player, so for him to have that success, it's important, I think. And for Swindon as well, I've spoken about the form coming into the back end of the season. That's massive for kicking on into the next one. Whether Holloway stays or not, they'll want to kick on with this squad. It's really important.
I also want to mention about Harry Smith.
Yeah, I was going to come on to him as well.
Harry Smith, I'm a big fan of Harry Smith. But he's been playing in defence for them,
Yeah, I saw something about that he'd been playing further back rather than further forward. But why not? I mean, he's 6'4", is he? He's quite tall. He's massive. So whether he plays in defence or up front, he's going to be a handful for City.
He's 6'5".
6'5". Bloody hell.
Yeah, they've got quite a big defence. I think it might be a game for Mellon because they've got like Miguel Frecklington. He's what, 6'4". These are big lads. I think Cavs may struggle against these defenders unless we can get him in behind. Or if he comes shorter for the ball and then makes a diving run behind. But just lobbing the ball up him that we seem to do every away game, just trying to lob the ball to Cav, he's going to get beaten every time on Saturday, 100%. Not because of his inability, but purely because they are huge.
You've just been banging on literally 15 minutes ago, Andy, about how great he is.
No. I won't buy. No, I was happy for him. I'm one of his worst critics. I think when he's got the ball at his feet, it's not the best. Sometimes he looks a bit out of sorts. Well, a lot of the time, to be honest, he's not got the best first touch. He just seems to be scrapping at it all the time. But one place where we know his weakness most definitely is in the air. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair.
With that in mind, though, we talked already about how strikers have struggled this season post Andy Cook. Do you think we need to give Cav that run rather than saying, oh, well, he's not right for this game, or, oh, he played poorly last game, let's give someone else a chance? Do you think we need to give a run to a striker in order for them to start banging goals in a regular way?
I think we're too late into the season for that. I think we've got to play the game that's in front of us on a match by. It's starting to sound like Alexander now, but on a game-by-game basis, let's pick the team that suits that team that we're playing against. If we're playing a game where all the defenders are 5'10" to 6 foot, go for it. Have a run, mate. But if he's constantly going to be out-muscled and not be able to challenge effectively for a ball, what is the point if all we're going to do is lump it up to him? We need to either adjust our play or change the player. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. Gents, predictions. It's that time of the episode. I'd like to, before we start as well, I'd like to give a warm round of applause to Chris for the first correct prediction of the podcast. Yeah, so Chris, last episode correctly predicted 2-0. I went 2-1. Andy went 1-0. So, Chris, first correct prediction. It took us till episode 3 to get one right.
But I don't even deserve that for saying 4-0 against Accrington, to be honest with you, chap. So, I appreciate the sentiment. However, I'm going to have to turn down the award.
Yeah, the award will be in the post. Might be slightly crumpled.
I can't take it.
Would you dare try go 2 for 2?
Okay, I'm going to go with 3-1 City.
I'm not sure about that, but I think if we get it right, then there is absolutely no reason why. Because, like we say, we're going to be wanting to break fast on the counter. You're going to want your Mellons and your Cabs and your Walkers to provide us something late in the game. So there's no reason why we can't get a scoreline like that. I think it'll be a lot more tense. So I'm going to go 1-0, but to City, obviously.
I'm going to go with the 2-2 draw.
Mr. Negative. I mean, what sort of podcast would it be if we just said, City are going to win every week? So we've got to have that yin and yang, haven't we?
It's not even so much the yin yang. It's genuinely not for clickbait. I do think we'll score against them.
You've disappointed me, Andy.
It's just, no, my heart says City are going to win, but the sensible head is telling me a draw. Like, it's draws. I'd pick the 2-2. Out of thin air. It could be 1-1, it could be 0-0, but I do think we're coming out with a point.
I hope I don't have to sit next to you, by the way. I'll stand next to you at the Swindon game.
I won't be sitting anywhere.
I hope we have to go to our different seats. If you're saying 2-2, I'm not going anywhere near you.
You can stick Mr. Negative in that stand behind the goal that's been condemned on his own.
All I'll say is I was right when I said City would win the league if we beat Walsall and where we currently sat.
Yeah,
just say you shot me down. Yeah. Who knows football?
No, but us City fans, we're not cut out for this. I don't think we're so fickle that we can't. We're either hopelessly, over the moon. We're going to win the league by 100 points, or we're going to bottle it. We're going to bottle it. Football's not fair sometimes, and I'm not cut out for this late season. My heart can't take it. Not at all.
It's nice, though, isn't it, to actually finally
be playing for something. God, yeah.
Playing for something at this end. We're going to look back. This is one thing I do want to touch on, actually. That we're up and down. We're fickle football fans. We're mourning, we're praising. But come next season or a couple of years' time, are we going to look back and go, we actually enjoyed that season, regardless of outcome now? It's been something worth getting excited, getting angry about. It's not just pure anger and disappointment for a change. We've had highs, lows, and make sure you savour it, gents, because this doesn't happen often in football. We go through, as a football fan, most of the time, you're down low, and that's just the way of the world. We City fans, we all just need to savour this season, and when we look back on it, make sure you've enjoyed it to its fullest, because it's not going to happen every year.
A little early for getting sentimental, don't you think? Right, well, we probably should wrap it up there, gents. It's been a pleasure, as always. Let's just hope for 3 points on Saturday. That's all we can hope for.
Can I just say as well, please share us on all the socials. Please follow us on Spotify. We are on Amazon. We are on Apple. We are on Deezer, I believe. So if you could just share the message of the 1911, it would help us a massive amount. And yeah, thank you for listening.
This episode is proud to be sponsored by Now, where you can stream Sky Sports flexibly. Catch the biggest games this season how you want, when you want. The football season is back, and you can keep up with all the action on Sky Sports with a Now membership. Whether you're perched on the edge of your sofa or hiding behind it, you can capture more of the drama this season with Now. The heat of the moment, the 90th minute winner, that last-ditch tackle, the pride on the line, and the best bit, You can dip in for the derby or stay for the season. With a Now month membership, you can stream all Sky Sports channels flexibly. No fuss. Go to nowtv.com to find out more about sports memberships. 18 plus, UK only. Minimum speed 2.5 megabits per second. Live scheduling may be subject to change. Full terms apply. This podcast is brought to you by Coral, and they're here for the fans. At the Fan Network, we have a mission to shake up the game we all love, and that's why we partnered with Coral, who've been shaking things up too. With their free-to-play reward shaker, there are guaranteed rewards and exclusive offers to be won every single day. Whether you're a part of the Badging Brigade, the Away Dayers, or the Football Fashionistas, Coral's here for the fans. Play Coral's reward shaker and win bigger guaranteed daily rewards and offers this season. For over 18s only, maximum one reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions and requirements and other T's and C's apply. Visit gambleaware.org for more details.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.